Okay, friends. Actually, I'm going to turn the camera this way. I noticed while walking through my tomatoes that this Paul Robeson was acting kind of weird. Um, it doesn't really have a main growth stem. This is a sucker that looks like it wants to take over as the primary stem. This it's just acting weird. So I decided, since I have extra Paul Robesons, I'm going to rip it out and put one in that will be better behaved. But I wanted to show you this so you can see how it was planted. Let's see here. Now this plant has been in the ground for only 2 weeks. And you can see this was the original root ball. Okay? And I trenched it, which meant I buried the stem. And in less than 2 weeks, all of these roots have grown. So had this behaved on top of the ground, and I knew which main stem was going to be the primary one to keep, this would have had a great root system. But you can see why I recommend planting tomatoes deep. Because if I had planted normally, this is the root system I would have had. But by trenching it, I got all of these extras. And so I'm going to do the very same thing with the Paul Robeson that I'm going to put in the ground. And if I can do it one-handed, I will show you how I make that happen. So first of all, I'm going to dig out here just to give me some sort of a trench. Oh, there's a grub. Let's get rid of him. I trench all of my tomatoes in the same direction, and that way, first of all, I know where to water, right? I know that if the stem is here, I'm going to water at a 45-degree angle. It also came in handy when we were pounding the stakes in. I knew where it was safe to pound because I knew all of my root systems were on this side. All right, so can I do this one-handed? Let's see. I'm going to take the bag off. And again, you can see this is what the main root ball looks like. Okay? Just like this one. I am going to take off any stems that would be below ground or touching the ground. So my plant is going to look pretty naked. I am going to dig a little farther over so that I have more room for the roots. And so I'm going to set it like this. All right, and only this little part will be above ground when I'm done. And that is okay. In a couple of days, it'll right itself. It'll start growing straight up. I don't have to worry about that. And so this is what it looks like now, a puny little plant. But you know otherwise. You know that below the ground, there's a stem that will produce lots of roots, especially in this weather that we're having. It's been pretty chilly and not much is happening above the ground. I mean, these plants have been in for, like I said, 2 weeks, and they still are not growing real tall. But we can tell by our sample plant that they are growing roots below ground, and that's exactly what we want to happen. These will start catching up when the weather gets warmer. This plant will catch up to that. In a couple of weeks, you will not be able to tell that this was a relatively new plant. So that's it, folks. I just wanted to share why it's important to trench your tomatoes. Happy growing. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Bye.